Hey you guys, Esoteric Empress, and today I am here doing a brief video. I just wanted to touch on the topic of the pentagram. I want to touch on, well, since we're on the topic of the pentagram, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and my experiences with that. So let's just get right into it. So as you can see, that is the pentagram. It's a five-pointed star, and each point represents an element. The top point being spirit, and the four other quadrants being the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. The pentagram has been used for centuries as a symbol of protection. Once the point is facing upward, that is the protective pentagram. It is not a symbol of Satan worshipping Satanist people. And this is what confuses many people out there, because they believe that the pentagram is some demonic symbol, which is not. And it's unto every man as he believes, he or she believes. So you have to understand that you have to learn the right things. Somebody told me the other day, like, who was it? I can't remember exactly. Was it my husband? But he's like, with all of this things, all of this stuff that you're learning, you want to be careful and stuff, what you're taking in and all of that. But the only way that you can guard against being ignorant and being tricked and being fooled is by learning, is by knowledge. Knowledge is power. And I am a person who am obsessed with learning. Okay, I've always been that way. I'm very curious about things, so I'm gonna dive deep into the nitty-gritty, into the truth of a topic, a subject. And so the pentagram is nothing to be afraid of. It is a symbol, like I said, of protection. I remember growing up when I actually, because I create a lot of artwork and stuff, and I made this huge canvas, a purple, black, and chrome pentagram, like lavender. It was beautiful, to say the least. But I was like 17 years old. That's probably, yeah, it's like, so that's like a long time ago. But it was so beautiful. I hung it up in my room, and everybody freaked out because they thought I was worshiping the devil. And I'm like, have you guys no idea what this means, like what this represents? And I'm trying there with all my heart to explain to them, like, this means this, that part. No, it didn't work. So that's when the exorcist guy came and started splashing water all throughout the house, holy water, to exorcise the demon. Okay. So anyway, that funny story aside, the pentagram, that's why I just wanted to break down what the pentagram actually is. It's a magical symbol. It has, what's the word I'm looking for? So the pentagram has been around for a very long time. It's been around, I mean, I said centuries, but it's like actually from the beginning, pretty much of recorded history, it's been around. Because even the Asians, like Chinese and Japanese, have used it as the symbol of, like, protection, like I said, of the elements of, because the pentagram is drawn with a continuous motion. So you start off at a certain point. Most people start off spirit. You would go in a continuous motion and end up at the same point that you began. So it's in a continuous flow. So that's why it's symbolic of so many different religions, so many different groups of people. Even in Christianity, the pentagram is actually known as a symbol of protection because it represents like the 5 wounds of Jesus Christ. It's in the Wiccan religion, it is very, very well known. And in the Satanist community, they have inverted the pentagram so that the 2 points, the points at the top represent like the horns of a goat. So it's an inverted thing. It's totally the opposite from what everybody else has been symbolizing it as. So Um, Now, on to the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is why I wanted to kind of put out there what the pentagram actually is, first and foremost, before I even get into that. But I've been practicing that now for like months. For, yeah, I'd say at least since the beginning of this year. And I've gotten better and better at it. And recently I have just been practicing now without the help of YouTube tutorials and stuff like that, because that was getting kind of annoying. Like every time I reached to the point where I, um, formulating the pentagram, it speeds up and it's like, okay, just repeat what you did in the east and in the south. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait on me. So, um, but the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, let me just go back to where I started, is a ritual or ceremonial act of centering, spiritual grounding, spiritual, astral, and physical protection. The lesser banishing ritual kind of connects you to that feeling of divine essence, that light then of the divine. What it does also is invokes the help and protection of entities such as your archangels in each quadrant, each area, each direction, and representing each element. And the elements, you're actually invoking the essence of each of those elements as well into your being, into your consciousness. So with spirit being at the head, you also have the elements of air, the elements of water, the elements of earth, the elements of fire. And each of those elements represent different traits, different characteristics in your daily life or in your consciousness, in your mind. And so for me, the lesser banishing ritual is something that is very important to be done at the beginning of any type of magical work. So even if you're going to meditate, if you've been having a hard day, it's something that you can practice to do on a daily basis. And some say you can do it rather quickly. It is pretty time intensive, but that's until you get used to it. The more you do it, the quicker you're going to be able to get into that mindset, into visualizing yourself becoming, larger than the room that you're in, becoming, strong and powerful, or feeling strong and powerful, and feeling protected. That's the most important part of it all. Now, for me, growing up, I grew up in a Christian home, and so, let's see, I went to so many different denominations of churches that it's hard for me to even narrow down how many, but I haven't been to all, but out of all of the ones I've been to, I've always been drawn to the more ceremonial forms of worship. I've always liked the Anglican and the Catholic Church, like the incense and all of that stuff, and the humming and all of that, and the repeating of like, let's just say the repeating of names in Greek and stuff like that, of God, of echoing the sounds of, it's just awesome. So, needless to say, that's why I am kind of having such a wonderful experience with this LBRP. Now, also in your normal day-to-day life, after doing this, you're going to find some wonderful things beginning to happen. You're going to find that you're able to deal with things in a better way. Your thoughts are going to become clearer, a little more, you're going to become even a little more psychic. You're going to be able to kind of walk with that calm. You're going to kind of be able to feel like you are, in control. You're not going to feel so like all over the place. It's going to ground you. It's going to center you. It's going to keep you shielded. It's going to keep you in a positive frame of mind. And I would recommend that you do it. At first, for me, it was very awkward at first because, I was not used to kind of disciplining myself to do this every day, or at least every other day. And the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it, and the more I felt better about doing it. And so now I'm at a point where it comes naturally. The words are flowing freely without me feeling like skittish and like, what was that? And then the next thing I want to say is just the time. Finding the right time is important when you're going to do that, because you need to be able to visualize properly. You need to be able to be in a positive, calm, relaxed state of mind. You're not trying to be anxious and in a hurry, or somebody's knocking at your door and you have to like stop abruptly in the midst of it. You can't. You need to give it that proper time, just like your meditation or anything else you take as importantly. Same thing should be when you're doing this ritual, because don't forget, like you are basically invoking, you're banishing, because it is the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. You're banishing all of the lower entity, or lower frequencies. You're trying to get rid of those, and you're trying to invoke those higher frequencies of source energy. And you're doing it out of total reverence. You're not, believing that you are the soul, source. So, it's important to remember that. And it's kind of humbling. It keeps you, in a good seated place mentally. So I just thought I'd just do this quick video. I went to record it yesterday, but I left out a few topics, a few things. So I just came back and decided to do a little update or edit. So thanks for watching. And I'd like to know as well, what is your experience with this ritual? How long have you been practicing it? What experiences have you been having as of late, ever since you started doing it? And if there are any tips, suggestions, I would love to hear them. So just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know. I could have sworn I saw somebody just now, and I don't know if I was tripping out or not. Psychic thing is deep. Oh, and one more thing. Yeah, with the banishing, with the LBRP, you also have the choice to use either your wands. If you have a wand, you can use that, or you can just use your hand. And I have yet to just use my finger. I've been using my wand, and I feel more connected to it. I feel like it gives me more of a sense of power using a wand, basically. But I'm gonna also do it eventually without the wand, and just see if how that makes me feel, if it makes me feel any differently. So like I said, guys, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for lots more esoteric topics and magical conversations. Until I come back with something new, peace out, guys. Blessed be, and namaste. So basically what you are doing is creating like a giant force field of high blue light, of source energy, of elementals, of angels to protect you.